welcome back to Franchise Player, and today we're going to be checking out my Xbox One game collection. Now, the Xbox One is a console that a lot of people don't like to collect for, but I really don't mind it. The games are pretty cheap. Sure, there's not a ton of exclusives, but the exclusives that are here are pretty solid and pretty affordable. So yeah, let's get right into checking out my entire Xbox One game collection. And mind you, I don't have a ton of games. I haven't collected for Xbox One for that long, but yeah, the games are hella cheap and it's a fun system to collect for. So let's get right into it. All right, so first up here we have Mega Man 11, and I love the Mega Man series. I love pretty much anything Capcom releases, and this is a fun one, man. It has a really cool time mechanic where you can basically slow down time to get through the game. But would love to see another Mega Man like this from Capcom, where it's kind of just traditional Mega Man fun, old school Mega Man art style. And you know, Mega Man X is awesome too, don't get me wrong. I'd like to see a new Mega Man X game. This is pretty solid. This is what, probably like a $10 to $15 game. I want to say I got this at GameStop for like 12 bucks. But yeah, Mega Man 11, definitely worth picking up. Next up here, we have Resident Evil Revelations 2, and I love Resident Evil. One of my favorite game franchises of all time, easily. And it'll be interesting to actually play Resident Evil Revelations 2 on a real home console. I've only beaten this on Vita, and Vita, I love the Vita, but it's probably the worst way to play this game. I picked this up at a GameStop not too long ago, and I'm like, you know what, man? Revelations 2 on Xbox One, might as well. Don't have it on PS4. And it'll be really fun to actually play this on a home console and just to see how good this game actually looks. Because I don't know if you don't know, this game runs and just looks awful on Vita. It's cool the Vita has it, but yeah, looking forward to playing basically the real version of Revelations 2. And another Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Really looking forward to playing this, man. I have this digitally on PS4/PS5. But it'll be really cool to play this on the Xbox One, just because I have the Xbox kind of set up in the office here. So if the TV is busy out in the living room, can hop in the office and play. But yeah, this is a game I'm looking forward to, man. It's getting to be that time of year. It's fall, and it's a good time of year to play, some scary games, some horror titles. So yeah, Resident Evil in first person. I know a lot of people kind of credit this game with saving the Resident Evil franchise. So yeah, stoked to try this one out. So next up here is another pretty recent pickup for me, man, and this is The Evil Within. This is a game that also came out on PS3 and 360, so it's kind of one of those cross-gen titles, but really looking forward to checking this out. I haven't even started it yet, but kind of like I said with RE7, it's starting to be fall, and it's the best time of year to play scary games and horror titles. So I've heard actually a lot of good things about this. I know there's a second one as well that's pretty cheap, but I got this at GameStop for literally like $5. I just used my monthly $5 credit to pick it up from the Pro membership. But what I thought was really cool about this, dude, especially for an Xbox One title, is that it actually has a manual. It's pretty rare for PS4 games and Xbox One games to actually have manuals. So that was pretty dope to see. But yeah, if you've played this, let me know what you think of it. I'm definitely going to start this soon. Next up, we have Forza Motorsport 5. Love the day one Xbox One games. The day one editions, the launch titles, just had these really sick alternate cover arts. I know this has one. Dead Rising 3 has one, which I actually still need to pick that up. But yeah, these cover arts are super sick. And then Ryse Son of Rome has this too. But for me being a car guy, I like this game quite a bit. I think it has a pretty decent car selection. It definitely sucks that you have to buy some with actual money. But overall, fun game from what I've played so far. I'm pretty early on in the career mode so far and only have a couple cars in the garage and haven't done too many mods other than exhausts and stuff like that. Got this for I think like probably $5 to $10. This was pretty cheap and really like it. Definitely makes me want to check out other Forza games since this was the first Forza I've ever played. I've always been a Gran Turismo fan. So yeah, so far liking the Forza series. Next up here, we have Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I think it was either this Tomb Raider or a different one that was like an Xbox One exclusive for like a year or something when it came out. I don't know if it was this one, correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't played a Tomb Raider game, I think, since the PS1 days, and this game was also, pretty cheap, dude. So I was like, you know what, for like $5, pick this up and jump back into the Tomb Raider series. I know Tomb Raider was awesome back on the PS1. I enjoyed playing that when I was a kid. Can't go wrong for $5. a nice action adventure game that looks like it has some pretty good graphics, and I'm sure the gameplay and gunplay is pretty cool too. Speaking of more cheap games, right here we have Rage 2. I picked this up at GameStop for, I think it was literally like $2.99. So I was like, you know what, man, $2.99, you know, $3 for a game, definitely worth trying. I have yet to try this, but I always remember back in the 7th gen seeing the cover of the first Rage and thinking that it looked, you know, hella tight. So definitely looking forward to playing Rage 2. I think the cover art on this is really cool. Don't think there was any actual manual in here, but you know, a couple inserts, which for the 7th gen was about as good as it got. You know, we weren't gonna have PS2 style manuals, that's for sure, but you know, little pamphlet, can't complain for this gen. That was about as good as you were gonna get. So yeah, Rage 2. If you've played this, let me know what you think of it. Super curious, looks like a really cool game. Next up, we have Wolfenstein 2. I've never played any of the Wolfenstein games either. So what I'm really liking about collecting for the Xbox One, even though I don't have a ton of titles, is, you know, I'm trying out some third-party games that I've never had the chance to jump into, or some franchises that, you know, I was always kind of curious about. But with this kind of being like an alternate, I believe, World War II or after World War II timeline, it sounded pretty fun to me. It's always looked really cool, and I think this will be a fun one to try out. The gunplay and gameplay looks sick from what I've seen online and gameplays. So yeah, Wolfenstein 2, I think this was another game that was around $5. This is the only sports game I have on Xbox One, and that's NBA 2K20. This was a game that I got for, I think, $2 or $3 at GameStop. I didn't buy 2K this year. I tend to buy 2K, you know, almost every year, but decided to pick this one up just because it was a few bucks. It's always fun going back to the older rosters, or, you know, looking at some players during their rookie year. So, you know, some of my favorite old school players, or I guess you could kind of say old school, are in this game still, like, you know, Carmelo Anthony, you know, Derrick Rose, John Wall, guys like that you kind of grew up with. So yeah, always fun to go back to older sports games. So now we're getting into some of the Xbox One heavy hitters, and right here you have Gears of War 4. I think the graphics on this game are solid, definitely a good looking game. I loved Gears of War back on the 360. I feel like everyone did back then. Gears, you know, really changed the game on the 360. I loved the first one, loved the second one, didn't play a ton of the third. And, you know, from what I've played in the campaign so far in this, it was cool. You know, it's a Gears of War campaign. You know, after the trilogy, I don't know, it just seemed like they were trying to, you know, kind of shit Gears of War games out just to get sales. But this was another game that I got for like $5, and it's cool. I can't complain. I feel like it's a must-have on Xbox One, considering there's not a ton of exclusives. So yeah, for $5, yeah, I definitely think this is worth it. Next up, we have Gears 5, and I want to say this was around $10, but maybe it was less than $10. Regardless, most Xbox One games are, you know, pretty affordable. This was, you know, Gears 5, so sequel to Gears 4. I've yet to try this. Really curious to see what the graphics looks like compared to 4. Looks like it's Xbox One X enhanced. I only have the base VCR Xbox One, so I won't be taking advantage of that, but I'm sure the game still looks good. Let me know what you think of Gears 5 if you've played it before. And another Xbox One exclusive. Right here we have Halo 5 Guardians. This game I think I got for like $2.99 or like $3 at GameStop when I had first picked up my Xbox One. And I was like, hell yeah, dude, you know, a Halo game for $3. From what I played in the campaign, you know, it was fine. You know, it wasn't groundbreaking or anything. It was just typical Halo action. But, you know, I'm super nostalgic for the Halo series. I think 3 and then Combat Evolved are my favorites. 2's cool too, but 3 and then the first one hold a special place in my heart. But yeah, I'll probably have to go back and beat this eventually. But I have had a decent time playing Infinite online since it's free. So I haven't played the Infinite campaign. Don't have it physically, but the online of Infinite's great. So yeah, but Halo 5, if you can get this for, you know, $5 or under, if you don't already have it for some reason, I'd say it's worth it. And next up here, I'd say this is an absolute must-have if you have an Xbox One, or if you want to collect for Xbox One. Rare Replay. So there's 30 games on here, and there's banger after banger, right? You have, you know, the Banjo-Kazooie series. You have Battletoads, you have Grabbed by the Ghoulies, you have Conquer on here, you have Perfect Dark, Cameo, which was actually, I think, an Xbox 360 launch title, you know, Viva Pinata, Perfect Dark Zero. This game is like a $10 game pretty much all day or less, which is crazy. I think this game eventually maybe will get more expensive. I'm surprised it's still so cheap, but there's another variant you can get of this where it comes with rare replay, but it also comes with the first Gears of War, and that's also super cheap. So yeah, I think this is 100% a must-have on Xbox One. It was really cool that Rare did this collection. Next up here, we have the ugly GameStop case of Watch Dogs 2. Gotta love the generic GameStop cases. But yeah, Watch Dogs 2 takes place in the Bay Area. That was the whole reason I got it, is it'll be dope to play a game in the city. And yeah, eventually I'll get the real case for this. So yeah, Watch Dogs 2, haven't played it, but I did play the first one on PS3 back in the day, and thought it was cool. So looking forward to checking the second one out. Quantum Break, this is another Xbox One exclusive that I've heard tons of good things about. Can't wait to pop this in. I actually just installed it, so maybe I'll pop it in this weekend and actually start a playthrough. But everything I've seen about this game, people seem to say that it was pretty underrated and just overall a solid game. So looking forward to checking this out. Also has some kind of time mechanic where you can like stop time, freeze time, slow it down, something like that. So yeah, looking forward to checking this out. Graphics look solid, and this is another game that you can get for like $5 to $10. So yeah, super cheap. Next up, we have Thief. This was another game that had came out kind of at the end of the 360 and PS3 life cycle and the launch of PS4 and Xbox One. So it's a little cross-gen action, but this is another game that's like a $5 to $10 game. I think I got this for like $5 at GameStop. But yeah, game looks cool enough to me. I haven't tried it, but I remember seeing this all the time back when it first came out. I remember seeing trailers of it. I remember seeing it around game stores, and it's cheap enough for me to go, hey dude, $5, let's give it a shot. And if it sucks, hey, it's $5. If I get even an hour or two of entertainment out of it, totally worth the $5. And another banger here on Xbox One, and this actually might be my favorite exclusive on Xbox One that I've played so far. Sunset Overdrive is super hard to beat. This was a day one title, a launch title. As you can see, it's got that day one stamp there. And this game was super sick. If you've never played it before, there's definitely, like with the way you traverse throughout the map, it's kind of gives off some Infamous vibes if you've ever played any of the Infamous series on PS3, Infamous 1 or 2. But yeah, this was a game that I got for like $5. The gunplay, the weapons, the colors, the way you travel around the map. This game is sick, and I definitely think it's a must-have in your collection. And for $5 or $10, dude, I think it's a steal for how fun this game is. So yeah, Sunset Overdrive, definitely got to cop it if you don't have it. And another Xbox One exclusive we have here is Ryse, Son of Rome. And this is actually going to be the last game I'm showing off today. Like I said, I don't have a ton of Xbox One games, dude. It's not like I'm running out there and buying hella Xbox games. I'm trying to only buy games that I actually have the intention of playing, or at least want to try or want to have in my collection. Don't want to have just any random trash in the collection. But yeah, Ryse, Son of Rome. This was a launch title, and it still looks really, really good. Haven't gotten too far in the game, but I definitely wanted to at least give it a shot before I talked about it a while back, and thought it was super cool. Looked great. Combat was fairly simple, but didn't need something super in depth. But yeah, really cool. Day one 2013 alternate launch cover art here, and I think, like I said, that Xbox did a really good job with having these alternate cover arts. But yeah, this game you can easily get for $5 or $10 all day. Pretty hard to beat that price. All right, so that's gonna do it for my Xbox One game collection. I'm still actively collecting for the Xbox One. If I can find a game for a decent price that I'm interested in, even if it's exclusive or non-exclusive, I'll probably pick it up, just because Xbox One games are dirt cheap. I mean, most of them, like I said, are easily under $10, so I think it's a great system if you're looking to jump in and start a collection for, compared to something like a GameCube or, even the PS4. There's a lot of PS4 games that are affordable. I prefer the PS4 by quite a bit, but if you're a little tight on funds or just not wanting to blow a ton of money on games, Xbox One is not a bad move. But yeah, let me know some games that you think I need in my Xbox One collection. I know I need the Halo Master Chief collection. I'll pick that up eventually, just waiting to get a good deal on it. And yeah, that'll pretty much do it. I know this wasn't some crazy, massive 300 plus game collection, but I'll do another one of these in the future, an updated one once I get some more games. But yeah, as usual, appreciate you for watching, and we'll catch you soon with another video.